What's going on? What's going on? I would have been back a minute ago, been running around. But this morning we're gonna talk about how I got this song, this Kyrie Fire song got blocked. I submitted it, and before I'm gonna play this song to head this up so it makes sense. All right. And while it's playing, I'm gonna be sharing this. And if y'all tap in or anything, share this video.
We're in 2022. History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. It's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is, what anti-Semitism is.
Black men addicted to fame, you can't speak. Can't share a movie on Twitter, you can't teach. I came up fighting oppression like Zane Geef. An all-white sister with muscles you can't beat. Our ancestors slipped the chains, they can't think. Like we don't know the Holocaust stories of Anne Frank. They took it from your land and then they was playing king. You know they keep a nigga at work so he can't breathe. They call me Willie 3 times, know that I ain't civil. Can't pass knowledge, just shut up and dribble. As soon as you mention their name, you ain't civil. What a man said he said it, now you anti-Semitic. So they cut his throat. Hard to see more horror than his color folk. What they know, builders and some carving by these color folk. Put them both, all the ancient structures made by color folk. Game change, where they get the funding for the slave trade. And we don't want no money, we remain sane.
It's really about learning the root words of where these come from and understanding that this is an African heritage that is also belonging to people. Africa is in it, whether we want to dismiss it or not. So the claims of anti-Semitism, but I'm in a unique position to have a great influence on my community.
I was gifted with a talent and it brought me some back. I ain't know that my employer could control what I think. Born in Jersey or Jerusalem, the home of the saints. What's the difference in the truth is if you woke or you ain't? As men, we need a plan more than rapping and pitching. If you famous with a brain and an opinion, they lynch. It ain't no mystery. Young black niggas don't know their history. From a Jew to a nigga, what they do to a nigga. These contemporary killers, we don't love ourselves. They got the nerve to say these young niggas hunt they self. Never proud to sell a drug, but I sold myself. I had to do this to survive, is what I told myself. You want to do, but they won't educate on the groups. Even colleges ain't telling us the truth. We know that college education is selling us plantations. Ain't nobody in telling us the truth. Whoa.
What I post does not mean that I support everything that's being said or everything that's being done or I'm campaigning for anything. All I do is post things for my people, my community, and those that it's actually going to impact. Anybody else that has criticism obviously wasn't meant for them. I'm not here to be divisive on what's going on this or that. I'm not comparing Jews to blacks. I'm not comparing white to black. I'm not doing that.
Look, Hebrews to Negroes. They gon' say I educated talent is just egos. Trying to fight the evils while they glorifying egos. They killing all our heroes. They gon' do whatever we tell them to get them heroes. They don't care about no reparations, nigga. We easy to control without some education. Then they glorify it. They repeat whatever we tell them if niggas buy it. Selling us that bullshit, I can't go against my diet. Vaccinated, still getting COVID without diet. Get the shot or you go from starting to bench riding. Niggas that's supposed to be leaders can get riding. They turning off your life if you saying something enlightening. Melanated and spreading knowledge, they find it frightening. But niggas killing niggas, that's always gonna be exciting. Just to get our history back, they gotta fight. Making niggas sit in the back when they invited. You telling me you rather see me not eating? Cause the movie that I watched, the shit that I tweeted. Come on, man, break it down and give me the reason. What up? You know you lying about that shit you been teaching.
We're in 2022.
I'm gonna bring it back one more time. We're gonna go in.
History is not supposed to be hidden from anybody. It's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is, what anti-Semitism is.
Y'all come in the room right in the feed. Let's go.
Can't share a movie on Twitter, you can't teach. I came up fighting oppression like Zane Geef. An all-white sister with muscles you can't beat. Our ancestors slipped the chains, they can't think. Like we don't know the Holocaust stories of Anne Frank. They took it from your land and then they was playing king. You know they keep a nigga at work so he can't dream. They call me Willie 3 times, know that I ain't civil. Can't pass knowledge, just shut up and dribble. As soon as you mention their name, you ain't civil. What a man said he said it, now you anti-Semitic. So they cut his throat. Hard to see more horror than his color folks. What they know, builders and some carving by them color folks. Put them both, all the ancient structures made by color folks.
Game change.
Where they get the funding for the slave trade. And we don't want no money, we remain sane.
It's really about learning the root words of where these come from and understanding that this is an African
What up?
heritage.
You in the room,
Say what up in the chat.
Africa is in it, whether we want to dismiss it or not. So the claims of anti-Semitism and but I'm in a unique position to have a real influence on my community.
I was gifted with a talent and it brought me some back. I ain't know that my employer could control what I think. Born in Jersey or Jerusalem, the home of the saints. What's the difference in the truth is if you woke or you ain't? As men, we need a plan more than rapping and pitching. If you famous with a brain and an opinion, they lynch. It ain't no mystery. Your black niggas don't know their history. From a Jew to a nigga, what they do to a nigga. These contemporary killers, we don't love ourselves. They got still got it on YouTube though. Never proud to sell a drug, but I sold myself. I had to do this to survive, is what I told myself. He wouldn't do, but they won't educate on the group. Even colleges ain't telling us the truth. We know that college education is selling us plantations. Ain't nobody here telling us the truth. Whoa.
What I post does not mean that I support everything that's being said or everything that's being done, or I'm campaigning for.
What up? What up? But yeah, so this song, Kyrie Fire. Give me a second, yo. I put it up, and so the plan was that I was supposed to put this song out. It's supposed to come out today. We're about to shoot this video for the remix with me, Shooter, and Levy. And then I got another remix with me and Nero. So I was gonna put all these versions out. And then we was gonna do like not so much a competition, but a challenge for other people who wanted to express how they felt about it, right? And it just word of mouth. So when I got the cover back, I loved it. And I'm looking at, because it's a swastika on it, when I sent it through, I thought about it later, like, man, they might block me because of the swastika. So that's why even on Facebook, when I put it up there, what I did was I wrote a caption because I felt like to put it up and to not explain is irresponsible. So I put a caption saying that these were children that were caught, like the dark-skinned population of Germany, in the war by the Germans. And on top of it is what we call a swastika, but it's really the symbol of the sun, 360 degrees of our ancient cultures that existed thousands of years before Hitler adopted it. Because Hitler and them they were into certain things. Now, forgive me, they banned me for using that word. Because right now I'm still on like a 12-day ban out of like a 37-day ban from going live on Facebook for just mentioning his name. It wasn't a conversation like I was telling y'all about anybody derogatory. I was just talking about what he said about music. So I thought about it. And me thinking about it, the first thing that came to my mind was like, I got a feeling I'm gonna get some pushback. But I'm thinking like, usually if you're on these platforms, let me give you how it works so y'all understand why it's a little funny. Let's say I put a regular song out and they don't want me to put the song out, or the artwork they don't like, or the song something wrong. They would write me and they would say in my email, and they would be like, look, you need to change a couple things. This cover doesn't have your name on it. You forgot to put BH, or this part right here doesn't have this. It's not the right. They'll tell you once you fix it, resubmit it, and then they'll review it in a day or so, and then they'll fix it and get ready to send it to the stores. If it's a song, they would tell you something like a sample of this and that they don't want it, but they don't take it down. They would just 99% of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, they don't take the song down. You can't monetize it. So where the rest of your songs you can monetize, on the ones that they feel like you can't monetize or they'll just cut off the monetization. It'll still go around everywhere, just you don't get paid for it. But never have I heard they won't. Now I'm gonna read to y'all what they wrote me so y'all can understand why I came across a little eerie. So this morning, this is what TuneCore wrote me. It says, per the TuneCore's terms and conditions, TuneCore has the right and sole discretion to reject any material submitted by TuneCore's user or distribution. This notice is to inform you that TuneCore has blocked Kyrie Fire for being downloaded or streamed from stores you select. While you have no refund policy, a refund for your submission can be processed under certain circumstances. Please let us know if you have any questions. Please do not attempt to resubmit this content through TuneCore services, or it will be blocked without refund. So first thing, they said, if you pay attention to the wording of this, it says TuneCore has the right and in sole discretion. So they have the right to pick and choose what they will put up or not, right? And this notice is to inform you that's been blocked.
The weird part about this whole situation is this. It's a song. You could have just not monetized it. You could have told me if you didn't like the cover, take off that seems offensive. If you readjust it, we can take that off and it could come off. If it was about, and that's what I wrote them back. I wrote them that they have to explain to me why, because you can reject me and tell me you're not going to play it, but you need to tell me why. You know what I'm saying? It's business. When we streaming, we got a contract with these services, right? So they need to tell me why. And so I wrote them back and said, so you're violating my rights of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Because for one, I didn't use no derogatory statements. I didn't say any culture. I never said the word Jew. I never said anything. If we listen to the first verse, it's what I'm saying is the issue.
From anybody. It's not about educating yourself on what Semitism is, what anti-Semitism is.
Black man addicted to fame, you can't speak. Can't share a movie on Twitter, you can't teach. I came up fighting oppression like Zangief.
For everybody who was asking me, Zangief is the big white boy or street fighter, the huge one. And so that's why I said I came up fighting oppression like Zangief, a big white boy with muscles you can't beat. Because I'm just expressing that the system is undefeated against us. You know what I'm saying? And the system against our people is that way.
An all-white system with muscles you can't beat. Our ancestors took it to change, they can't think. Like we don't know the Holocaust stories of Anne Frank.
My expression, the words I use, see, sometimes I feel like you got to know your worth today. Because if you listen to the words that I'm using, that's the issue. It's how I'm expressing it. I'm not just coming at their head, it's just the expression. They're worried about the feeling I'm going to give everybody, right? I said our ancestors was hooked up to chains like they can't think, like they was animals, like they were less than, right? That's the Holocaust too. Like we don't know the stories of the Holocaust, like we don't know the Holocaust or stories of Anne Frank was my next line. And my point was to say, when they going after these celebrities like Kyrie and everybody, or they saying me, I guess, you know, they say he anti-Semitic, he anti-Semitic, he anti-Semitic. It come off very weird because it's like we didn't grow up and learn, especially my generation, which is Kyrie generation. Like we didn't learn the Holocaust and not just different parts of it every year, but we also read the diary of Anne Frank and how her family was hiding and how most of them died in the Holocaust. You know what I'm saying? But never, not once in school or in any of their stories did they tell us anything about there was a dark-skinned population in Germany. That's the reality, right? So I want y'all to understand, I'm going to express y'all the best I can, my expression and the problem with it.
They took you from your land and then they was playing king. You know they keep a nigga at work so you can't dream.
I said they took us from our land and then they was playing king, because they know that the reality of history is that they took us, whether if it was from here or other parts of the world, and then they dominated us and they conquered us and they play king, right? And I said, you know, they keep a nigga at work so they can't dream. We all distracted every day going to work for majority of our day. Everybody can have this same influence. The issue is that when they keep us distracted at work all day, always busy, never time to focus on what we really was created for and our goals, the things we can do to change the world, or just being able to think and to have an open mind without being forced into this job market, what we call slavery. See, the issue is more importantly of not so much of the statement, but the seed of thought that I plant. And that's what I had to realize. And yesterday when I sent it through, I had an eerie feeling. Not at first, but probably 20 minutes later, it hit me. Because I've already was blocked off YouTube for 2 days and can't advertise or promote for 39 days, and now it's going down. So what I did was I uploaded it to YouTube, Facebook, and then I uploaded it to YouTube, the song. And then, of course, Facebook owns Instagram. You know what I'm saying? My wife this morning, she was like, yo, maybe they own TuneCore. They do, right? But it's the expression. I want y'all to understand the power of expression. Even though I sit around and through all the doubt and this, listen, when the rest of the world hear people like me or artists who really got something to say, who can pass off the feeling, my biggest gift is the fact that I can make you feel a certain way. That's my gift as a Pisces. I can control the emotion of the water in the body, right? I can control that by how I express to you. I don't have to attack you. I can say something to you that'll make you look at yourself. Or some people run away from it until they're ready to look at themselves. But I'm a mirror. I feel like my music is a reflection. You got to look at America has to look at itself to accept this record. You know what I'm saying? And it's the reality.
They call me Willie 3 times, know that I ain't civil. Can't pass knowledge, just shut up and dribble.
Me just saying they call me Willie 3 times. I'm just saying the Trinity, the Holy Trinity. And you can't pass knowledge like you could pass a basketball. So I was just saying in the aspect of if you're an athlete or anybody, you know, especially ball player, the NBA just showed us that they just want them to shut the fuck up and dribble. And you remember that movement, shut up and dribble, that they so-called had? Where the fuck is they at right now? And my first line was saying, black man addicted to fame, he can't speak. We seen most of the black people who spoke was attacking him. The very few were. Then they changed their tone. We still live in a society that doesn't want to deal with itself. You know what I'm saying? Just like hip hop is 30-something years old, but it's special ed because it's still got the mindset of a 13-year-old. But we don't see that and how it's playing the effect on us as people.
As soon as you mention their name, you ain't civil. What a man said it, now you anti-Semitic.
I said, as soon as you mention a name, you ain't civil. And we know when they say, who are we speaking about? As soon as you say the word "the" and like Jews, like how Dave Chappelle said, "the" and Jews, it's like now you label anti-Semitic. I didn't say I hated anybody. I didn't degrade anybody. I just spoke on historical facts and how we feel. When I said, like, we don't know the Holocaust stories of Anne Frank, I knew that I felt like people around the world, not just black people, but people who grew up in America who felt like we know the Holocaust. We learned it every year. You know what I'm saying? We know it. Like it ain't like we were impartial to it, but I don't feel like any community has the right to push off their oppression on black people. On us. I never thought, like, I don't feel like nobody can do that to us. You know what I'm saying?
So they cut his throat. Hard to see more horror than it's colorful. What they know, builders in Sakara, bodies colorful.
So let me go back a little bit. One of the things I said is what they know. It's hard to see more horror than it's colorful. So the expression is what I'm saying to you is that, wait, now, before you start trying to guilt us as the black people, the slaves, the less thans, the treated like animals, it's hard to see more horror than us color folks. This some real shit. Like, I understand mentally why they don't want that song out when I thought about it. Because I'm telling you, it's hard to see more horror than us color folks. Put on boats, builders in Sakara made by color folks. Let me show you what I mean when I say that. If you go on Google and you type in Sakara, Saqqara pyramids, or just Sakara. And I let them know I have the right, because according to back, luckily I'm not paying them for every yearly. So the question is, in this situation is what? Give me a reason why. What's wrong? I should be able to. But I said going to Jersey, you know, they call it Jerusalem. They look on the mess. I seen your name was Timbuktu. So it's a deeper conversation. And I hear a lot of people, you got your own truth, you got your own truth, and ain't nobody got the truth. Those shit, I know what it is. I know how much more. I just ain't gonna waste my time. As men, we need to play with a rapping pitch. Be faced with a brown or pink lip, dying that for what he knows that you don't know. But I'm realizing that coaches, you didn't go any coach and dig and do your research, you would think certain things that's not true. But I'm looking at the reason why we fighting against the white people or against the Jewish people, or like as far as being and going through all these things, is because of lack of history and a lack of culture. in himself and responsibility and ability. We don't love ourselves. We got nerves. These niggas hung themselves. You seen them like they're found sitting forward, the news on they hung themselves, and they kill themselves, but they on news. So that in my opinion, and it wasn't any criminal actions in mind to know. So that's the issue. But the question is how you go about fighting it and do that. The most important factor of this whole conversation is about us. We have no avenues. So with this lesson, it taught me is that you can have powerful music, but if we don't have a platform that we can put this music out on, rather we have to have our own websites, start our own streaming services so that the people can come to us directly. Other than that, we won't be able to speak up and use our voices and be free about what we feel. All I was doing was using my voice and my right to my expression and basically passing messages through the music the way that it was made and was supposed to be. BH.